Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from around the United States and all around the world. Tonight, I'm going to be making a pop-up card. Now, I had posted over the weekend a pop-up card that I had done 9 years ago, and that was kind of before we had all the fancy dies that cut places for things to pop up. And it's kind of an old-fashioned way to make a pop-up card, but I figured, what the heck? Maybe it would be a good idea to redo that video with some of the newer stamps and dies that we have in our collection. So I asked you guys what you thought, and overwhelmingly, you guys said, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it again. So this one will be just a little bit different than that one, but it does use the old-fashioned way of doing a pop-up card, which means you don't need to go out and buy any special die for this, like to create the pop-up parts. You can just do this with a ruler, a pencil, and a pair of scissors. So I'm not sure how it's going to turn out tonight, but I hope my idea that I envision in my head works and we're all in it together. So before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
How can you not like a pop-up card?
I love a pop-up card.
Yeah.
It's interactive.
Yeah, and it's so geometric and multi-dimensional.
Yes, it's so much fun. It's like you don't expect it. You know, you look at the outside of the card and you open it up and it just comes to life.
Yeah, and it all kind of stands up on its own, except if I make it, it's like a prop-up card. It's not a pop-up card.
We're going to get you back here.
So sending out thoughts to all the people in the crazy weather out there this week. All kinds of crazy weather going on across the country.
Yeah, we've got some cold air coming across. We're going to be freezing up here in Wisconsin. But that is the perfect weather to be inside and crafting. So, right?
Craft on.
Yes. All right. Well, this card might take a little while tonight. I've done a little bit of pre-die cutting because I thought I would try to use some of the dies from our little set here. This is the little Winter Wonderland die set that was free with one of the kits, and now it's back in stock in our regular inventory. I don't know if it's in stock. I think it might be, but it's in our regular inventory. So if it's not in stock, it's coming back. And this is one of those cool sets that you can use year round because houses are just houses. I mean, you can make a spring card, you can make a welcome to the neighborhood card. You can make a congratulations on your new home card, whatever you want out of this. It doesn't have to be winter, but it is fun to use that for a winter scene. So tonight we'll make a winter scene. All right, so I'm going to start here with a piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then I scored it at 4.25 inches and folded it. So this is an A2 size card base, but I'm going to cut this down because this is going to be the inside of my card. So I'm going to cut it down to 4.75 inches this way. The fold is up here at the top. And remember, keep the fold away from the edge, and then by 3.5 inches. So this actually is very similar to our Master Layouts 2 size. Okay, now I'm going to do something similar to what I did. Let me get a different piece of cardstock here. Okay, so I'm going to do something similar to what I did. I feel like you're going to be able to see it better because it's bright. Something similar to what I did in that video from 9 years ago. And I have, believe it or not, the same Tim Holtz ruler. I love this ruler. One of the things I love about the Tim Holtz ruler, and some other clear rulers may be similar, but I just love this one, is this is all segmented out in 1/4 inch increments. And I love that because it makes it super easy to just, you know, figure out exactly where you want to measure. Now, these are a little bit different measurements than I did on my card from 9 years ago. So we're going to do this one a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the 1 inch mark. My last video, I started at 1.5 inches, and I think that might have been just a little bit too far out. So I'm going to pull this one a little bit closer to the back of the card. So I'm going to just measure what 1 inch is here just with my pen. This is a friction pen, so you can erase these pens, but it doesn't matter because we're actually going to turn this inside out. So anything we do on this side, you're not going to see. So now I can lay that ruler up to that mark, and I can see it's this black line right here, which is the 1 inch mark, this very dark black line. And that makes it easy because I can just butt that right up to the edge of the card, and I don't have to make dots all the way across the card like I would if I was just using a regular ruler. So you want to do a 1 inch mark. Okay, so that's a 1 inch mark. Then we're going to move that down 1/4 of an inch. That was not actually a good 1 inch mark. This is a friction pen, so you can erase this pen. I get these on Amazon, and I use them a lot to write on the inside of cards because then if I mess up, I can, like if I misspell something, I can redo it. So I want to make sure that's right on the edge there, and then I'm going to draw my 1 inch line. Now I'm going to move down by 1/4 inch increments. So I'm going down 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going down one more 1/4 of an inch. Now, before you start doing this, one thing I want you to make sure is that when you are drawing these lines, you are on the folded side. You don't want to draw them up here on this side. No, this ruler isn't available at our store, but most of the independent brick and mortar stores carry them. Also, the big online stores like Simon Says Stamp carries them, and you can also get them at like some of the big box hobby and craft stores in your area because they carry a lot of the Ranger and Tim and the Ideology. So that's what this is, Ideology. I always say ideology, and that's not right. Okay, so now this is where we're going to do some real simple eyeballing. So the first thing we want to do, let me explain to you how this is going to look. So anything that you cut up to this first line is going to be the closest to the back of the card. Anything you cut on this middle line is going to be in between the back layer and the stuff that's right at the front. And then anything you cut up here is going to be right in the front of the card. Okay, these pens are called Friction, Frixon, Friction pens. There we go. I get mine on Amazon. I'll put them in my things I love category too, because I do love them, and they come in different colors. All right, and they also have markers, and they have highlighters too. And I don't recommend the markers for like coloring your craft projects, but they're great like if you do planners and things like that. All right, so now I am going to start with something kind of in the middle that I want to come out into the center of my card. Now, I'm not doing any measuring here. I am just going to cut all the way to the back line. And then I'm going to cut about 1/4 of an inch next to that. And I only kind of know what 1/4 of an inch is because these are all 1/4 of an inch. So I think I'm pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty close. That's actually exactly 1/4 of an inch. Wow. Okay. So whatever's going to go here on this tab is going to be an image that's way out front. Okay. So now we want to cut 3 spots where we can drape some snow across the back of the card. So that's going to be this little area here. So we want to do one very close to the end here. So I'm going to cut and then cut again about 1/4 of an inch. Doesn't have to be a full 1/4 of an inch. Okay. And then I'll cut one right about here next to this one. That's pretty close. And then I'll cut one over here. See, no measuring, it doesn't really matter. So now that's where my snow drift is going to be in the back, my snow hill. Now I want to create a couple of areas in here where my middle layer of pieces is going to go. And then I might cut one more big one, and you can cut that big one anywhere. So maybe I'll cut that big one like over here. We'll cut one more big one over here. And then I'll cut a small one here. That's just going to the second line. This will all make sense when I turn it all inside out. And then I'm going to cut two of them to the second line over here. So we'll do one right here. And we'll do one right here. Okay. So you can watch that again, or you can do them any way you want. All I'm doing is just cutting fringe to different areas, but I'm always doing two at a time. Now, when I turn this inside out, this is where you're going to be able to see what it's going to look like. So you can see, because there's big gaps in between, this is one, this is one, this is one, this is one. You're just going to skip. This is one right here. This is one. This is one. It's where the lines meet. So because this is so white, it's going to be a little bit hard to see. And you'll be able to get it right, Deidre, because all you have to do is cut them. It doesn't matter really where you cut them. That's the thing about this. It doesn't matter. Wherever you cut them, you're just going to position different pieces on there. So they don't have to be perfect in any way. You're just going to cut 3 to that first line, one on one end, one on the other end, and one somewhere in the middle. And then everything else you can stagger either up to this top line or this middle line. And these pieces are going to go in front and back. So you're going to be able to see all of that. If you want to follow what I do, rewatch the video and just stop with each cut and do the same thing. Okay. So now we are going to add some ink blending onto this panel, but I don't want to add it onto these areas that are going to come out where I'm going to put my pop-up pieces. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to press those areas backwards. First, I'll bring them out so that you can get an idea. So I'm going to bring this out. I'm going to fold it on the line. You see how that looks? And you can close it and press on it. Then I'm going to do this one. Same thing. Just press it up to the edge there, to the edge there. You can see how that one's sticking out more. So that means that piece is going to stick out in front of that piece. Okay. See what's happening here? This one. I guess it's better to show you this first because I think this will make a difference. So these two will be the same. Okay. Now I'm going to do this real big one. And you see that one's going to stick out even further. And this will all make sense when you see me start to put everything down. Then I'm going to take this little one here. This one went back in. There we go. So that little one there matches that one. I'm going to do this one. Then this one. It's a big one. They do fall back in, so you have to press them back out again. Okay. I like to kind of like fold it to get them to stay. And then this last one. So I just randomly cut these fringe strips, and you can see what they look like here. And if you want to take a screenshot of that too, you can. Or you could just go back to this part of the video to see if you want yours to look like that, you could kind of see how far up I cut. Now I am going to take my score buddy and I'm going to put a little pressure right along here on each one of these. just to really crease them. Okay, so you can see what that looks like now. And once you make this, if you do this with me and you trust the process, I'm not saying do it live with me. I'm saying do it when you can press the pause button during the replay. You will see just how easy this is. Now you can leave it like this and you can put a panel up here. Like I made this panel, and you could put this panel up here as a backdrop for behind your pieces if you want. And all I did was just cut a smaller rectangle and I just mounted it just to see what it would look like. But I actually want to do ink blending on this whole thing. But I don't want the ink blending to get onto these pieces. So the way I do that is I actually push them back the reverse way. Okay? So we're going to push them all back inward the opposite way. And this can be a little bit time consuming to do this, but I think it's worth it if you want to do like a blended background. You can even put something through here if you want, like just to hold everything in place, like a pair of scissors. And you can kind of press them down and feed them out of the way like that. Because I want these out of the way when I ink blend. But I wanted to show you what they were doing. Do I have something that will fit in here? Yeah, I do. Okay. I'm just sewing through these with my pick and stick tool like that. Okay, so now I have folded them in reverse. All right. Now we're going to do our ink blending on here because I want to create kind of a dark sky because all the pieces that I'm going to be using are from that Winter Wonderland die set. All right, I'm going to ink blend right here on this half. Now, if you don't mind ink showing on the white parts, you can definitely just ink blend and get it on all the white parts. The problem is when it pops up, those bright pieces are going to be, you're going to see them. So I think it's better just to do it this way. All right, now we're going to do a typical Gina K nighttime sky. So we'll start with a little bit of Tranquil Teal. We're going to make this sky a lot darker than we usually do. We're going to start with Tranquil Teal. Yeah, if you're lost, especially if you just came in late, just watch the video and then go back. No, Sue, I wouldn't ink blend first because then these pieces are all going to be colored. I just want to get them out of the way. I mean, you can, but I think it looks better when they're white. Okay, yeah, you could use a chopstick. That's a great idea. All right, so I'm going to start with some Tranquil Teal because we're going to make this sky darker. More nighttime.
Is that heavyweight cardstock?
No, this is layering weight, and I highly recommend you use layering weight for this because it's really easier to bend the paper when it's the layering weight. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to use a little bit of pink, just a little bit of pink. Yes, it's layering weight. Okay. Yeah, I think you're going to like this. And once you see this all come together, you're totally going to get what's going on here. All right, I'm just blending some Bubblegum Pink on here. Okay. And then way down near the end, I'm going to add some Tangerine Twist. Okay.
Layering weight is 80 pounds.
80 pound, yep. And we're going to do the tangerine down here. And just bring that up into the pink. And then we're really going to add some dark blue in there because we really want this to appear as a night sky. I love that too. When you get that blue in there, or that teal and pink, you get that purple. And don't worry about these little smudgy areas. They actually are being picked up from back here because that's creating little dents. And then we'll add that real dark color here. Okay. Yeah, you know, any kind of interactive card, it's good to watch the video and then decide later to try it. This is not a stamp along project for sure. Okay, so now I've got that night sky. Right now it looks kind of like towers, but it won't in a minute. And then I think I'm going to add just a little splatter onto that to make it look snowy in the background. So I'm going to get my block and my paint. And then I need a little bit of water. Oh, I think I left my paintbrush in there last time. Oopsie. Get a little water here. So the blues that I used were Tranquil Teal and Blue Denim. I really need to get a fan brush. I think that would be easier to use a fan brush, but get a little water on there. Okay, I'm going to test this just off on my paper over here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Got it all over the rug, but that's okay. I'm actually going to just tape this down so that I can do this the right way. Just put a little washi tape in there and tape it down like that. Okay, so we'll get some snow in here. This is a little brighter than I usually do. But that'll look good because I'm going to put trees on here too. Okay. So that gave me a little bit of white back there. Yeah, toothbrushes are cool. You could definitely use a toothbrush. But not your husband's. You're welcome,
lost
Tom.
a few.
You've lost a few over the years. Okay, so now let's just take that washi tape out of there. And now we're going to turn it back the other way. Okay, you can see those strips there. And now we're going to fold the card back this way and pop those back out. We want those to be out so we can start assembling our pop-up card. And I'm going to make a little snow hill. These don't want to stay out. Let's do this. And then we'll fold that to get the crease back in there. Okay. So now we have our pop-up card ready to go. Alrighty, so now let's get a snow hill going. So we're going to put a snow hill in the back. And I think I cut a bunch of these trees out. I always have a bunch of these cut out. So what I was thinking was I could add some trees back here to this mix just to be in the background. Because we're going to have other things that are going to cover these. So if I put a small one down here and then a large one up here, let me show you what I mean when I say cover them. When I put this here, see how that's going to cover and you won't see where the bottom of that tree is? Okay. So I can put a greeting down here at the bottom half if I want. All right, so I want to just lay out some trees, and once I figure out where I want them, definitely going to put one down here. And you can sneak them in behind those little things. So we could do one like down here a little bit more. Okay. And then we'll do another big one right in here. And then I think I'll put another little one over here. And that will just be my little tree-lined background. And I think that's going to be a really nice backdrop for everything else that I'm going to do. So let's start with those, shall we? We'll get some Connect glue. And we'll glue these down. Now you can tape them, but for this, I really like to use glue or really skinny tape when I'm putting my pieces on. And that's because I don't want anything sticking out, because I don't want the card to like anything to stick together, if that makes sense. So we'll just get this one down here. And we'll tape it. Not tape it, glue it. Press that down. There we go. Okay. We'll do this next one. That's a great idea. Yes, you definitely could do that. That's a great idea. Somebody just suggested, I just saw the comment go by and it went by really fast, but somebody suggested instead of folding those pieces back in the opposite way, just use Masking Magic strips to cover them. Great idea. Really great idea. But if you don't have those, you can fold them back in. But I like your Masking Magic strip idea even better. Beautiful. Okay, so I've only done one layer of these trees, but for the pieces that I'm going to pop up, I actually cut more than one layer of the die out and I glued them together to make them a little thicker. And you've seen me do that before on sentiments and things like that. And it's just to give it a little bit more of a sturdiness when it pops up. There we go. Just a couple more and then we'll be ready. Aren't these trees nice? I love these. I think they're just great for anything. I mean, they're beautiful for a snowy scene, but they're also, you can, ink them up, ink the cardstock up in our spruce ink, and you can make pine trees that just look so pretty. And just slip this under here. No, not either. I'll put it right up to that line. It's okay if they overlap a little bit, totally fine. Okay, and then this one is going to go in here right there, like that, but down a little bit. Okay, so you're kind of getting the idea now, right, with this first layer? Now, I could try really hard to figure all this out and create a template for you guys if you would like that, of where to cut. Like, a lot of times when I make a template, I don't make the template until after I've made the card because I don't know where to cut because I'm kind of winging it. And then if I like one, then I'll say, all right, I'm going to write that down, or I'm going to create a little template out of that. Okay, so you can see that's going to be our trees. Now, they look kind of weird, like they're suspended up in the air, but they won't when all the little buildings cover them. Okay, I'll work on a template. I promise you it won't be in the group for a day or two, so please, whatever you can, if you can, just be a little patient with me. Okay, so I'm going to measure this right here. This last one measures a 1/2 inch. So I want to cut my cardstock I want to tear my cardstock about a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to eyeball it there to where a 1/2 inch would be, and that's where I'm going to start. And I'm just going to go ahead and just cut a very kind of not even. I want it to not be even. We'll see if we can get it through. So I want the rough side where the rough tear is, and then I'm going to just test this and see if it works. See how I'm slipping it. I just want to test it first, and then I'll do it slower for you. Make sure I got it right. I think I could go even higher. All right, let's do one more. I'm going to cut this a little bit bigger, or tear it a little bit bigger, and we'll see how it works. Because it's just got to be able to slip under these things. Now this is going to be adhered to these 3 right here. They're the short ones, if you can see. This is a short one in there. This is a short one, and this is a short one. And this is going to be my snowdrift that has to be able to get under these right here. These 3 and these 2, but these 3 mostly. And see, it's a little big now. So after you've torn it, if you kind of like where it is, how it looks, but it's torn, you could just trim it down a little bit. I'm just going to trim it down a little bit so it can fit through. Yep, I think I can get it through all of these. We'll see if I do it sideways, but then, yep, that'll work. Can you see that? That fits back there. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trim it down to be the same width as this card, which was 4 3/4 inches. Remember, I started with a 4 3/4 by 3.5 inch piece of folded card. So now when I send it all through here, you can send it through when it's kind of folded down like that. Now it should work, and you just want to make sure that it will sit up properly like that. So that's going to be my snowdrift back there. All right. Now we want to give this a little bit of accent, so we'll try with a black ink, with a black blending brush that has a little bit of gray on it, has some soft stone. So I'm going to just edge on there a little bit of that soft stone ink. It's still got soft stone left on it. I know that from my last video, and I haven't cleaned it or anything. So just so that when it's up against white, you're going to be able to see the edge. See what I mean? Okay.
And what kit or set did those trees come from?
They came from the Winter Wonderland die set. Okay. So now, rather than try to glue this and hold it into place and, you know, finagle it around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the 1/8 of an inch terrific tape. If you don't have terrific tape and you have something like score tape, even if yours is bigger, you can just slice through it and make it a little bit smaller. Well, it's something fun to do, you know. Sometimes we don't really have anything going on and we want to try something fun. And yeah, I know this is going to take a little while to make, that's for sure, but it's worth it. There's got to be somebody that's special enough to deserve this card. Maybe. So you can see I'm just cutting very tiny pieces of this out.
And a question, could you use blue instead of soft stone?
Oh yeah, you definitely could. You could use blue denim, you could use sea glass, you could use turquoise sea, anything like that. Absolutely. This is your card. You do it the way you want. I'm just doing kind of what I think would work for me. Now, I'm going to lay this card flat when I apply this. So I'm going to, first I'm going to feed it all the way through to kind of where I want it. Okay. And I'm going to just push it up like that to get it out of the way. So this way it's not going to get stuck while I'm going across. And then I'm going to take the little protective liners off of my tape. Did I pull the whole tape off? I did. It's because I didn't put enough pressure on it. I'm going to get a new piece. Once we get these panels on, the rest of the stuff goes on really fast. So I'll use my score tool just to put a little pressure on these to make sure they stick. That's just the tape. And now I'm going to peel the liners off. All right. And now I'm going to slide this right down to the very end of where I could see the cut would be, where the bend is, right there. And once I have that in place, then I can push that all back up. And I'm going to fold it down. See, so now I have my snow in the back. Okay. So that's my first layer back there. That's my little snow bank. And you'll just see a tiny little bit of that. You won't see a whole lot of that. All right, so now I think what I want to do is I want to look at what the buildings and the trees will look like. So I have some trees and buildings that are very stiff because I actually grouped 3 of them together. So I cut 3 and then I glued them all on top of each other so they're nice and stiff and they'll stand up really well. And you know what I think might be pretty on this? To add just a little bit of green on these. So I'm going to try it. And we'll see how that looks. And then I'm going to do something fun to these so that they become solid. And I'll show you that as well. All right, so let's start with a little bit of green. I don't know what color I have on this blending brush. Let's just take a look at what's left on here. That's just a real pale green. So let's grab a tiny bit of jelly bean green, just a little jelly bean on the brush. Okay, because we just want to add a little bit, but we still want them to look snowy. So what I'm going to do here is instead of like blending, I'm just going to like smush onto it a little bit. And that keeps a lot of the white in there, but it just gives it a hint of green. And that will show up a little bit better in the front there. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Just a little smush on there, just a little pressure. I don't even know if I'm going to use all of these, but it gives you more uneven color, which is kind of what I want because I want to be able to see the white. Now, my little white houses, I'm going to need to do something here. So I'm going to cut a little strip of cardstock. See if that's wide enough. I think that is not going to be wide enough. It might be. I might go a little wider. I could have measured. That would have been the right thing to do, but you know. That's a little wider. I know it doesn't look much wider, but it's a little wider. All right, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to ink this up with some wild dandelion. I want to add some yellow because we want our houses to look lit up and we don't want to be able to see these things behind the houses. See, if I just stuck them on there, see how you can see the thing through it? You don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you a quick way to add a background. So here's some wild dandelion ink. I'm just going to ink that up. I'm not going to worry if it's super even too. In fact, I don't want it to be super even because that's going to make it look more glowy, like the rooms are glowing differently depending on which room it is. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to just put that up against the house like that. And then I'm just going to trim that down. And then I'll use a little Connect glue. Just down the center here and very lightly along the sides. And I will place that on the back. Now, if you want a more glowy yellow, you can do a darker yellow. You can do whatever you want. But again, that's going to make it thicker and it's going to make it more solid. See? Super easy to do. Now when I put that there, now you have the glow coming out of the windows and you don't see anything else. Okay, so let's just do a couple more. And I'm just going to lay my acrylic block on this off to the side here, just kind of like that, just to help put a little pressure on it while it dries. Okay, and we'll do these other ones. So here's a little house. Now this one, I'm going to make this one a little darker. So this one, I'm actually going to do the top of the house too. So I'm just going to cut it right here at the bottom. And then I'm going to cut it, slip my scissors in there and just cut the little points off like that. So now I've got all that yellow coming in there. Yeah, well, I'm not worried about that other one. I know I missed the top of that one. I'm not worried about that one because that extends way past that piece I'm trying to hide. So that one will be okay. And you can change the colors of the windows if you want. You know, if you want a different glow coming out of the window, you know, a deeper glow, maybe a bluish glow, like the glow of a television. But there's another one. And again, you can see how on these smaller ones, see how they're going to hide those? See how these are going to pop up so cute? Okay. Yeah, blue behind the windows would look good too, definitely. Now, I'm already kind of committed to this yellow thing, so we'll stick with the yellow, but definitely blue would look great. You could do dark blue too. You could do really dark. You could do black, so it almost looks like the houses are kind of like, you know, everybody's asleep. Any of those would look good. Just gonna cut these off like that. And a little bit of Connect back here. Okay. You get so gluey doing this. It's actually kind of fun. There you go. And if anything is showing weird, you can always go back and trim it out again if it's... There we go. Let's see my three little houses there. And we'll do the last one. Oh, you could put a little tree in the window. That would be adorable. There's so many fun things that you guys can do with this. This is really basically for the technique. And then, you know, you can add all of your details exactly the way you want them. Alrighty. And I still want this whole thing to have a little bit of a silhouette appearance. So instead of making, I mean, if you want, you could go full bore and make them little wood grained houses and do all those other fun kinds of things, decorate them up, put a little line across and do the roof in a different color. You could do all of that. But I'm still going for that slight silhouette look, but I just needed them to be solid and not see-through. And if this is bothering anybody up here, we can always add another little piece. I will add a little bit back here so that we don't see that window either. But that one wouldn't make a difference, but we'll cover it anyway. Just in case. Just in case it makes a difference. Okay. There we go. All right, so now they're all filled in. I can zoom in a little bit on that. I love these little houses. They're so fun. And so we have that, and we have our little trees, but they're still kind of whitish, right? So now we can add those onto this design. And we can do that once again by using a little bit of tape, or we can use glue. Now, what I was thinking was we could have this one main building right in the center. So let's start with that, and let's just get that one in the center. Okay. So put that one here with some terrific tape. And I'm going to peel that off. And then we're going to lay that down so that the bottom of the house goes right down to the bottom of this piece. Make sure that it's as straight as I can get it. And then you can see it pops up. Okay. That's pretty cute. All right. So now back here, I was thinking we could do a house like this, but we could put a little tree here, and then we could do another little house like this, and somehow we can affix that whole thing onto there. I think that'll look good. Okay. I think I missed one of the houses. I got to do the background for this one too. But let's get this adhered together. So we'll use tape for that. So Tom.
Hey.
Do you have a word of the day for everybody while I'm working on this? Because I'm not even sure if I'm going to do this yet. I have to decide. Maybe. I think I'm going to do it on this side, to be honest. I'm going to do it on the other side.
Anybody out there celebrating an anniversary?
An anniversary. Hey, ours is coming up.
I know. And I don't know if quick thinking, I don't even know what the number is. It's been quite a while.
It has been 37 years. Has it been that long? Has it been longer? Oh my gosh, I think it's longer.
Yeah, we're having a pretty good run, huh?
We are. All right, I just piled those two together like that. See, I'm making an element there. And then that whole one is going to go on this one right here. So I have a tree on the end. Okay. All right, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Tom.
No. So yeah, it's, I was just thinking about how many changes you go through in married life. I would say we've gone through a few, haven't we?
Sure.
But all in all, I mean, I put the seat down.
Yeah, you
right?
do.
So there's the word of the day. That you could say I'm spouse broken.
That's awesome. All right, so now I've got that one there. Very
Just
cute.
one of many ways, right?
That's very funny. Okay, so there's my little tree. Spouse broken. You are spouse broken. That is true. Now I can do another house right there. And that can even be a little behind that one. Oh, I like that idea. All right, let's do that. That was a very funny word of the day, spouse broken.
Debbie said she puts the seat up for her hubby.
Aw, that's so sweet. I do not. I do not do that. I am not that nice.
Well, not after I fell in that one time.
I fell in. So I'm going to make sure this one is just a little behind that one. Should I do that? Or should I do a tree there? Let's see what a tree looks like. But I think you're going to see too much of the... I don't think that looks bad. Let's put a tree there. We'll put a small tree there. I think that actually looks really cute with a tree. Doesn't that look cute? All right, and so we'll do another house over here. But actually, why don't we do a big building right here? So we got to put the background there, and maybe we'll do another tree there and then one back here. So we'll just do 3. All right, let me get this last little bit of yellow here. Oh, these are so fun to build. That is very funny, Tom. Now I forgot this one. I thought I was going to use more of the small ones, but apparently not. So we'll get a little more Connect glue here. Because this one's going to go in the front, so we'll get a tree behind that one. All right. Pardon me. Okay, so this one will go here. Oh, that'll be adorable. And you can always put another house in the back like that if you want. And we can put another one back here just to have a little more dimension. Let's do that. We'll put it right on that snowdrift. Okay. So this one's going to go back here. And the big one's going to go in front of it. We'll put the small one first. I know this is a very old-fashioned way of doing pop-up cards, but this is the kind of pop-up card that you do when you don't have any special tools or dies or anything, and you're just doing it by hand. It's very relaxing. You can take your time. You can figure out what you want to do, and it can be uniquely yours. So that's going to go to the end of the snowdrift back there. So now it's in the back. And we're going to stick one right back there. Just because I have them, you don't have to do this part, but it does look cute when they open up and you kind of get that little bit of dimension in there. With like houses in the back. It's kind of cute. And then we'll get a tree on there. We could put a house right on there. We could put the house there. No, let's put it in the back. Let me hold off on that one because this one has to go here. So let's get this one on first. We'll decide if we need that one. I know the rule of 3s and 5s, the odd number thing, but it might look okay. There we go. Okay. You can see my little pop-up world is coming together. We can put another tree here, back here, like that. Fill that in. Just one step at a time. We could even put a little house up here on the hill, back here. Let's do that. We'll add this one back here, right here, just so that you see it in the distance. Okay, we'll see. I'm not sure about this one. I might just take this one off gently, and we can decide. Okay, can't believe that worked. All right, we'll get this piece on here, and we'll get our tree on there. This is tiny. I think the bigger tree should go there. Okay. All right, so now we've got this whole little pop-up village there. And now we're going to add something right onto the front. No, it's probably getting late. Yeah, but that's all right. We're almost done. I haven't decided about this one yet. I feel like it should go somewhere, but I'm not sure where, and I don't want to kind of crowd it in there anywhere. So, yeah, maybe back here. We'll see. No, I think it's in the way. 4 is good. 4 is good. Okay, and you can like give that a little bit of extra pressure there just to make sure everything is stuck down properly. A little extra pressure. And then we'll see how this looks. I'm going to do a tiny little, cutting a tiny strip to go across the front, and we'll see how it looks. Just a tiny one. Just so the houses are kind of sitting in the snow. We'll see what it looks like. And again, you can use any color that you want. If you prefer blue to my gray idea, that's totally fine, and I get it. I think blue would look really pretty. So that's what that would look like if we put it in the front. But I think it blocks the houses, so we're not going to do it. Okay, so now this is going to go onto a black panel, which I cut 1/8 of an inch bigger. And that finishes it off a little bit. I really like this little village. Do you like this, Tom?
I love that. I'd like to put a few lights in there.
Oh, wouldn't that be cute? Some pear blossom press lights. It's another little tree I have too that would be really cute back here. Oh, I think I want to put it in there. Sometimes when you have these little, I won't mess with it now because I know time is of the essence, but I'm going to adhere this. There's all my back lines. Make sure you don't do what I just did and don't get any glue or anything along there. I guess you could put a little bit in here if you wanted, but I'm going to go without it. I'm just going to go like close to it like that. Same on this side. Okay. Now I'm going to position that. Actually have it folded here, so maybe I should do it this way. Get that right along the fold. I don't know.
Well, now you're getting crazy.
I am getting crazy. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. No.
There's not enough math in the world.
Yeah, right. There we go. I want to give it a little breathing room. Is that too much breathing room? It might be a little too much breathing room. I'm not sticking it all the way down. I did it in my old video this way, and I just kind of pressed it, and it worked, but I feel like it's not perfect. And you know how I like things to be perfect. So, but it's better than horrible. Oh, there we go. Actually, why don't I just look at it this way? There we go. Okay. All right. And then this whole thing is going to go, oh no, not again. This whole thing is going to go into a white card base. Oh my gosh. Isn't that beautiful though? Isn't that pretty? I love how it looks. I love how it's sitting up. I got to get just the right pictures for this. I'm going to do it this way since it's sitting right. Just going to do it like that. Yes. And then do it the other way.
You make this stuff up as you go along, don't you?
I do. Yeah. So there we go. There is the inside. I think that just really makes it bright. And remember, this card, the way I put it together, I know I can't show you from the right angle here, but I put it together while it was standing up pretty much. So it stands up by itself really nicely. And this way, you know, you'll put it in the envelope like that, but it's going to pop up really nicely and it'll sit open on the person's table just like that. Okay, so now we're going to do the sentiment part. We're going to do the outside. I have a quick idea here, just a very quick idea. I'm hoping for the best. Super fast. We're going to use a little bit of the Gina K Masking Magic strips. I got to find the right ones too. Where are they? Okay, here they are. So we're going to use these 1/4-inch Masking Magic strips real quickly. I'm going to go right around here very quickly because we got to do the outside of the card. It just can't be a plain white card, right? Right. But we're going to make it match the inside. So you know how I do 5-minute cards? It's going to be a 5-minute card. All right. And then we're going to use the same colors that we used for the inside blend. So we're going to start with, we'll get that real pretty. We're going to start actually with Turquoise Sea.
Seems like a good card to make if you're snowed in somewhere.
It is. It's a great card. It's a fun card to make. Don't discount a card that takes a while because they're fun. And remember, it's not a race. It's a hobby. So try it and see what see how you like it. You could save it for just the perfect person. Has to be the perfect person though. I'm going to go in just a little bit more. So this is going to be the outside of the card. It's going to be simple, but I still have to do the blend because it's got to coordinate. All right, we'll get some of this bubble gum. I have cups of water everywhere. I'm just ready for a disaster. So we'll get that bubble gum in there. Oh, I love when it turns into purple. And then we'll get whatever's left on this blue denim brush. We'll get a little blue denim up at the top. And then whatever's left on the Sweet mango brush. We'll get a little of that at the bottom.
You remember when your uncle and your dad were painting in the garage?
Yeah. Yeah, tell them that story.
Well, they were doing some gold leafing or something, weren't they?
Yes, they were gold leafing a lamp.
Oh my gosh. And your uncle couldn't live without a cup of coffee nearby. And he dunked the brush right into his coffee.
And he kept going.
And he just kept going.
Instead of the glue, just dumping the brush in his coffee and painting it on the lamp. Okay, so now we've got that beautiful blend. And now we're going to add a greeting. So let me get my Misty. I'm moving this water. I can just feel disaster striking. So what I thought we would do here is, I really love the greeting from this set, this big Merry Christmas greeting. And I thought we could do something like that, and then maybe just a little tree in a house next to it, or just a little tree next to it, just something real simple, like a little house next to it. We'll fill it in. And then they'll be like, that's interesting. And then they'll open it up and the whole village will be there. So that's my plan for this. Very simple. So we'll get the Merry Christmas on here. Now, please, Lord, don't let me mess this part up. I'm actually going to use a piece of masking magic to hold it down so it doesn't move. Okay. So I'll put Merry Christmas here. And then I think we'll use this little one right here. And we'll fill that in with some yellow. Only take a second to do that. Okay. So some black ink. Yeah, it's real simple on the front, right? So it looks like, okay, well, there's not a lot going on here, but, and then they open it up and the entire village is waiting inside for them. I love this greeting. I just smashed my fingers into my ink pad.
We got a big, bold question here.
Okay.
Do you use Color Cube Volume 1 or 2 for inspiration or color choices?
Volume 1 or 2.
Color Cube.
Teresa, I don't know what that is, Volume 1 or 2. I'm not sure what that is. So if you want to ask it again, maybe, are you talking about like our Incube sets? But we don't really, they're by season. So I'm not sure what you mean. I'm so sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to put this onto black. If I can find my tape runner, here it is. Okay. And then, I mean, you know what? We could add a little tree instead. We could just do one of the little trees here. That might be cute too. If I could pick it up. Just a little tree. No, let's do the house. Let's go with my first thing, because I feel like this is just going to be sweet and simple. So we have to do it. All right, quick little piece of cardstock there. Not big enough, same as last time. All right, and we'll get some yellow on here. The Color Cube, did she respond again, Tom? I missed it.
I didn't see anything.
Okay.
I think they're talking about maybe something that Jennifer was doing.
Oh. Jennifer and I were talking today. We were talking to each other today, and we don't watch each other's videos, like ever. And I think we don't do that. Like, she was like, I was like, did you see that one thing? No, I didn't see it because I don't watch any videos. I'm like, I don't either. And I think we do it just intentionally to never try to like take each other's ideas by accident. So we don't really watch. Well, I don't really have a lot of time to watch videos because I'm always making them. But it was just funny. We were both laughing and we're like, did you see that video? No, I don't watch your videos. Yeah, I don't watch your videos. We were giggling about it. Okay. So, oh, I just put it on the chimney. I don't need that on the chimney. All right. So I like this little yellow. I'm sticking with the yellow theme, although I really like whoever said to do it in blue. I really like to do it in blue. Jennifer had it on her Christmas gift list, the cubes. I'll have to go check that out. So isn't that cute? Just that little building right there. Is it in our gift guide? Is that what you're talking about on our gift guide? And it was Gina K Ink Cubes?
No, I think it's
Another company?
System.
Oh, another
system.
Oh. Okay. So I think that's straight. Does that look straight? Oh my gosh, I can't even see anymore. Yes, I think that is straight. The cubes have a picture. I missed that comment. I feel like I had to go up just a little bit. Okay. All right. So now I have my, and then in here we could put an inside greeting, right? So we could pick from any inside greetings. Let me pick one real quick. This is a great set by Beth Saleka called Sentimental Holiday. So we can pick, I'll pick this one. Wishing you the joy of family and the happiness of friends and the love of Christmas. Okay, here's where I'm going to screw it up, but we're going to try. Okay, so let's put that there. And then let's get this off of here. I'm going to clean everything. Color inspiration guides. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. I would love to help you with that question, but I just don't know what that is. The color inspiration guides. I'm a little out of the loop when it comes to what other content creators are making. Oh, I should have put this on first, right? I'm nervous. I am brave, aren't I? All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lift this off of here like this. And then I'm going to stick it. I'm going to stick it into the Misty here like this. I'm going to see if I can do it. I don't think I can do it without smashing everything. And I just don't want to use an acrylic block.
Oh, you have to.
I'm going to have to. Okay.
Freehand.
Freehand it? Really? It's a brand new stamp, too. I've never used this one. Oh, my gosh, you guys. Okay. I'm going to have to prime this stamp and stamp it. Everybody's like, no. No, the whole card won't fit because it doesn't lay flat, because the way you want it to be put together, you want it to be able to stand up. So it doesn't lay flat completely. See the little gap there in the side? That's on purpose so that it stands up all the time. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to freehand it. I don't think it's a good idea, but I'm going to try to freehand it on this scrap piece. Everybody's like, all right, if you're the praying type, now would be a good time. Oh, God, that's not even that's an embossing ink cube. Maybe that'll help. See, maybe God is looking out for me here. Just stamp that off once, and now we'll try the black. Oh, no, I don't think so. I'm not feeling this at all. This is going to be super light. That's not bad, right?
Barb said, turn your card 90 degrees and put it in the Misty.
This way, like that. I still, to get it to lay flat, I got to go outside of the, I can't. It's not going to work. I got ink on that too. Well, I can always change the background cardstock. Okay, I'm going to wing it. I'm going to try it. Ready? Here we go. This is bugging me though now because it was on my fingers. Mono sand eraser. We'll see if it works. Not bad. Okay. I gotta one more time. I really, gotta do it right. Okay, can I do it straight too? Yes, I can. I know I can do it. All right, here we go. There's like all kinds of stuff on my thing now. It's very nerve-wracking. Okay, here we go. Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So there it is. There she is. There's the inside. Okay, now I'm going to let that dry for a second, and then I'm going to put the outside part of the card on, and then, oh my gosh, we're going to give this away to somebody who's excited. I was able to get most of that off. That's good. And then I put another one on here while I was getting that one off. Ugh, I'm giving up. I have too much ink on me. Let's not get ink on this part. Oh my goodness, I ran out of tape. Why not? Why not? It's just that kind of night. Alrighty, let's get this tape runner filled up here. And we'll get our last little bit of tape. We're giving this card away, so stay with us. I know we're a little over. But Tom and I are well fed. We went out for sushi, so at least we're not starving, right, hon?
That's right.
Okay. Get that right on the top of this card. I need to get this out of the Misty. I feel like there's... Okay. So now they get this cute little card, and ta-da! There's the whole village inside. Okay, we did it. I do really like this card, and I think it was a lot of fun to make. It is a project for sure. But I mean, I've taken an hour to make a layered stencil card, and look at all that detail you get in there. And I'm going to take some pictures of it so that you can really... Kathy, and she sticks the landing. Hi, Kathy Zilski. Jennifer and I both watch your videos, though. We make time for you. All right. It's just for each other. That's because her videos are like 30 minutes long, and my videos are an hour and 15 minutes long. Kathy, you have the right idea. You know how to get to the point. Okay, so there's the pop-up card. There's the greeting, and there is the front. All right, so Tom.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to leave it like that just so everybody can see it.
All right, back to the drummer for the winner of this amazing card. Okay, the winner is Irma Odeki. Irma!
Congratulations, Irma. All you have to do is send your name and address to info@ginakdesigns.com and I'll get the card out to you. I do have about 2 or 3 weeks of cards sitting on my desk right now that are all going out by the end of this week. So if you've been waiting for your card or tag, it's on its way. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun. I had so much fun making this cute little pop-up card. And like I said, I'll take good pictures of this and I will post them in our Facebook group and also here on YouTube in my community tab. So you go to my channel, click on the community tab, and you can find it. Hey, I always forget to ask this, but if you could like this video, that would be so awesome. Just click the thumbs up button. That really helps my channel. And also, I found out that 60% of the people that watch my videos don't subscribe to my channel. So if you're one of those people, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button and you'll never miss another video and you'll never miss another community tab thing either. And that's always cards, pictures of cards. So if you like that fast inspiration, that's another way to get it. All right, everybody. Well, Tom and I will be back on Thursday for another Crafternoon at 12 noon Central Time. And then I'll be back over the weekend with another 5-minute card video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very much. And mwah, we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.